Have you ever felt like you're doing all of the right things? The meditating, the coaching, the strategies, networking, being in all the right places at the right time, and yet still monetizing your gifts, your skills, your capabilities seems like the hardest thing that there is to do? In today's conversation, we're going to talk about why the wealthiest people are coaches and consultants, why it is your turn to step into that effortless and easy cash flow opportunity. And most importantly, we're going to talk about what is getting in the way of you allowing you to move forward in this arena. And first things first, I have to apologize. The timing was supposed to be 1 p.m. I am currently in a coaching opportunity as well with Myron Golden. If anyone is familiar with him, he is a business coach and consultant. That man is the truth. If you ever have an opportunity to listen to his material on YouTube, I highly recommend it. And then purchase one of his books, jump into his challenge, whatever you see fit for yourself. But that is why I had to push off the time today, and then I had to put my daughter down before we got started. So I apologize for that. And I'm also happy that you are here because people who pay attention get paid, right? People who pay money get paid. But the most important thing is that you are here and you're committed to this transformation. So, again, our conversation today is why the wealthiest people are coaches and consultants, and the fact that it is your turn now. So, I have a whole bunch of notes here, but I actually want to start out with my personal story because I think this is very important in having you see the power of our conversation today. I grew up teased, teased for my weight, teased for the way I spoke. Apparently, I speak like a white girl, whatever that means. Teased for having great insight is what I'm going to say. I was a projector before I knew I was a projector, and so I was often told that, you think you know too much. And as a result of that, I was often put on the sidelines, picked last for things. My family even made fun of me, made fun of my clothes. One time, my aunt literally left me at home and took all of my cousins out to a basketball game just because my clothes were not appropriate for her. And that's what my mom bought because of, the size of that I was as a child. I was a little overweight, chubby girl, right? But because of this, what would look like pain, what would look like a con, a lot of that time allowed me to observe people. And in my observation, I learned what truly makes us as human beings tick. I truly learned how to listen for what people were not actually saying. And I also, in my opinion, which is very valuable, was able to recognize that there is no difference fundamentally between people who have money and people that don't. And so as a result of this, I learned a way of being confident in myself that I wouldn't have if I wasn't teased, if I wasn't left at home, if things weren't made to seem like something was wrong with me. And so, in my opinion, this is my gift. It is what I offer my clients, an ability to be with yourself and be with all of yourself, to zoom out and see yourself fully, despite what someone may have said about you, despite the teasing, despite the experiences that you may have had. You are still worthy, you are still valuable, you are still able, capable, skilled, loved, appreciated, especially when you learn how to be in a healthy relationship with yourself. And so that's really where I want to start today, because often we can look at people who are deemed successful, who have status, who are wealthy, and we're like, what is it about them? And I really want to uncover that today so you for yourself can zoom out a bit and be able to see the value that you have to offer the world and really be able to take action like today. Okay? One of the things that I got very present to in this week of coaching with Myron is what has been keeping me stuck And it is really very interestingly broke. I think it's built into my profile. I am a 4/6 splenic projector with need motivation. The 4/6 profile is the regal authority. And what I recognize is that there is a difference between status and success. And because of the society that we have all been conditioned into, we often go after status first. We want the things, we want the clothes, the house, the relationship. We want all of the physical, tangible things, and that is what we chase after. But the truth of the matter is, who you are being is what is going to allow you to do the things that then create having those material results. And so, my experience of myself has been someone that was very overly concerned with the status because of how I was brought up and the things that I experienced as a child. And so it wasn't until I realized my intention with my business from day one has always been to serve my people. But because of my focus of status, I went about it in ways that, in my opinion, weren't scalable, weren't sustainable. And so the lesson for me, and I think will be forever my lesson, is what does it look like to be successful? What does it look like to step into the version of success that truly matters to me, that is a part of my makeup as a projector? And you may be listening to this as a projector as well. Like, who do you get to be if you are successful right now? And so what that looks like for me as a 4/6 is really focused on building community and not overly focused on having status and having things go my way. And the thing that really supports me in this, which I shared today on my Twitter feed, is that you may be thinking about being a consultant or a coach and building a business based off of your personality and your experience. And the first thing that you're more than likely going to do is think about something that you have been formally trained in. What was I really good at in high school? Or what did I go to college for? Or what am I passionate about? And so, because what actually is your gift and your natural skill and the way that you make other people's lives better, because it is so natural to you and easy to you now, you overlook that thing. I'm definitely guilty of that. You overlook that thing and look for the thing that you have been traditionally recognized for. Oh, I was good at math in school, and then I went and got a degree in business, and so that's what I want to help people with. When the reality is, the thing that you truly are here to gift people with is that thing that you developed in yourself because of what you went through, experienced, trauma, all of the words that we want to put on that. It develops something in you that is second nature to you now, but is foreign to someone else. And I want you to just think about that. What is that thing for you? Because it comes so easy to you, you think it's not important. But as a coach, I promise you, I've experienced this for myself. As a coach or consultant, you will be surprised that you can have any type of name on your offer, but the work that you actually do within that space when you are with your client, you'll see that that work is the true difference maker. And I can speak for myself in terms of I've had offers called the 6 a.m. club, where for a week women were getting on a call with me at 6 a.m. and we were going over their goals. I've had live workshops around vision boarding. I have had offers around building a business. And every single one of those offers, the reviews from my clients is always, you've shown me how to have more gratitude and be more present every single day. You've allowed me to see where I can request more for myself. You've empowered me in stepping into the truth of who I am. It's never, ever about the title of the thing. It's always about who they become when they are in my presence because of who I am and how I carry myself. And so I share that because there's a way of being that you naturally have that is the true essence and the true worth and the true value that your people want to have and experience in their own life because they see it as valuable in you. I was sharing with my partner this morning before he left. I shared a story with him about a trip that I went on to Hong Kong. My mother and I and a few other adults, we used to travel from the British Virgin Islands to many different countries, and we used to have like 40 to 50 kids with us. And we traveled to Hong Kong one year, and the kids were playing in the room, and there was like a tub. There was a tub that was built, and you could see the tub from the living room. And there was like a concrete edge, and one of the kids jumped off a bed and knocked his head on the edge of that tub. And it was a deep gash, and he was crying, like crying profusely. On top of that, his father was one of the chaperones on the trip, and his father starts to freak out. And my mother calls me. At the time, I was probably 19 or 20 years old, if I remember correctly. And she was like, "Can you deal with this?" And at the age of 19 or 20, I'm like, "Yes, I can handle this." We're in Hong Kong, by the way. I call the ambulance. I calm down the father. I take them both to the hospital, and I deal with everything surrounding getting him seen, getting him checked out, making sure he's okay, anything he needed after that. And then we go back to the hotel, everybody's calm, and we move on with the rest of the trip. And this was probably like 2 days into the trip, by the way. And as I look at that and many other examples in my life, I am very clear that who I be is someone that is very calm, very still, able to zoom out and see the bigger picture and not allow what is happening in the moment to take away from what is already guaranteed. We are okay. We are abundant. We are of the limitless creator. Anything that comes to our mind, we can make physical and tangible. That is who I be at my core. Because I realized as a young child being teased, even though you're teasing me and telling me that I can't do this, I can't hike, I can't play sports, boys won't like me, guess who hiked? Every time we went on a hike when I was in boarding school in Arizona, I have hiked the Grand Canyon many times. Guess who has played softball at a high level? Guess who can run a mile? Guess who has been with some of these, in my opinion, sexiest men ever? All of the above, me. And so because I was teased, I had to develop a way of being in life that allowed me to see the bigger picture. Because if I keep listening to people teasing me, I'm not going to go after anything I want. And the last time I checked, the reason why we have dreams and goals and desires is because they are promised to us. God has already promised these things to us. And our life journey is simply us going through the motions to become the person that attracts those things with ease. You can go about it the hard way. I'm not talking to those people today. And so when you look at your life as, oh, it was just an obstacle, you minimize the value of that skill that you developed. I could talk about being teased as the worst thing that ever happened to me, and it ostracized me, and it made life hard for me, and my aunt left me home, and that means she doesn't love me. Or I could use that as the thing that developed my skills around being at peace. I like to call it being unfuckable with, no matter what is happening. No matter what is happening. And trust me, I'm a 6 line. Stuff be happening. Okay? Stuff be happening. But there is something about this skill that I have developed that allows me to be calm no matter what. And while I see that as something that is just second nature, trust me, the people who are not that way, they want it. How can I be that way even though I don't have a job? I have no money coming in. I'm not in a relationship. I'm overweight. I can't get any sleep. I'm anxious. My man left me. When I tell you the list of things that people have come to me with, I don't care if I say, oh, this is a business consultation. They will start with business and then we'll get to the core of what's really going on. And it always is the relationship with self. is not a strong foundation. And I want you to get that the reason why the wealthiest people are coaches and consultants is because they have developed a strong relationship with themselves. They're able to see the value of the life that they have lived, not only for themselves, but they're able to zoom out and see who else could benefit from this. Maybe I can't see who the people are, but I'm going to put myself out there because I'm worth it. My pain was not in vain. So I'm going to put myself out there and just see who needs some of this. And the beautiful thing about life is you will always go through things that will test your ability, will test your skill set, and therefore make you stronger. And this is why I love coaching and consultancy. I don't need a degree to do what I do because I live my life. And because I actually like hard things, I go through hard things so I can learn the way to get through hard things. And then next time it comes around, I'm going to be Gucci. There's this saying that if it's hard on the front end, it's going to be easy on the back end. But if it's easy on the front end, it's going to be hard on the back end. Me? Give me the easy later. I'll take the hard right now. I'm young. I can handle the hard right now. Let me do the hard thing now so that when I am 40, we're not even going to take it all the way to 80. When I'm 40, I could enjoy my life. I can enjoy the easy. Like tomorrow, I can enjoy the easy. I had a conversation yesterday with my man. I went to the dentist, and apparently this procedure that I need, which is going to be a retreatment to a root canal I already had, is not covered. So it's $2,000 out of pocket. And I'm like, well, guess what? I'm going to get it done. Because money isn't something that I'm going to, oh my God, I don't have the money right now. No, it's going to happen. There's no reason why this is popping up now for something for me to do. I'm about to get braces. I'm very excited about that. I'm not allowing anything to prevent me from that. So I had to come home and be like, babe, in 2 weeks, I got to get a retreatment. It's going to be $2,000 and I would like to use your card. And that conversation went into other conversations where in the past I would have been like, oh, I don't want to have this conversation. But guess what? Something that I wrote down. God made you with the solution to your problem already built in. God made you with the solution to your problem already built in. I look at other women online talk about how they have a partner that pays for everything, and you would think that based on their looks that that's the reason why. And then you get into the comments and it's women who you would think that's not happening for them and it's happening. I share that because, again, me being teased is one of the core experiences of my life. And I will forever, I'm going to speak about this because it is true. I will forever have to come up against that when I want to move to a new level because it is a core experience and we all have core experiences in our life. And so every time that core experience comes up, even though me and my partner have been together, 2 years now? Whenever there's a conversation that may seem like it's dependent on what I look like and how I show up physically, trust me, I get choked up. Because the back conversation is, are you worthy? Because when I was growing up, the conversation outside of me was that I was not. And this is something that we as entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants are always challenged with because we know our life experience. And we judge ourselves based on said life experience. And then we then think, oh, I am not worthy to teach somebody anything because of my life experience. When the truth of the matter is that is what makes you worthy. The fact that you are here today alive and well, operating like a fully functioning adult, means that you are perfectly worthy. And so again, the core of your money relationship, your business being thriving, you being a successful coach or consultant is 1000% dependent on the relationship that you have with you. If you don't think you have something that's valuable to offer the world, then that's what it'll be. Versus if you do think that you have something valuable to offer the world, the clients, they're already assigned to you. They are already there. And so I want you to get for yourself that you are your business. And the reason why you will forever be wealthy if you choose to step into you being your business is that your life is going to always give you opportunities to learn and to sharpen your skill set and to become a better version of yourself. And when you build relationships, I'm a four-line. This is why my focus is on relationships. When you build relationships first with yourself and then with others, you have clients for life. Because life does not end until it ends. There's always going to be another level. There's always going to be another desire. There's always going to be another pivot. And if you can move someone away from pain one time, trust me, they will trust you to move them towards pleasure again and again and again and again. And again. Let's just add it again. And so the invitation here is for you to zoom out and actually fall in love with the periods of your life which were the minority. They were not the majority. As much as we focus in on the things that hurt us, like if you really zoom out, you'll realize they were the minority of your life. But that is how we're built. We cannot avoid that. We as human beings, we hone in on the things that were quote unquote painful and we give them so much weight. And so if you can zoom out and choose to see those times in your life or those experiences in your life as something that made you better, I promise you that is the first thing to open the floodgates to you being a successful coach, consultant, entrepreneur, business owner, whatever it is that you see for yourself. Most people try to shove those things away, sweep them under the rug, hide them in the closet. I don't want to see that ever again. But what you're actually doing is sweeping your skill set, your gifts, your value, the thing that people want to pay you for, you're hiding that. Why do you think there are, and maybe this is something only I've experienced, but a lot of the best speakers and teachers and coaches, they're people who've been through some stuff. Myron Golden, who I shared with you earlier that I'm currently in his challenge, he had polio as a kid. So one of his legs literally does not work. Like he has a brace on and you'll see him hobbling around. I've seen famous speakers, like I saw this one guy who has no arms, crazy, up on the stage inspiring people. There are speakers who have like speech impediments. They're up on stages changing lives. And many of you who are listen to this and watch this, your thing is probably not that severe. I'm not going to say that it is not as painful, but I will say that it's probably not as severe. And yet still, you are hiding the value that you have to offer the world, the value that will change your life. And not only your life, because I really, like this conversation, I have no idea where it's going to go, allowing God to take control. But I want you to be so present to you changing your life is also you changing the lives of your clients, but also your family for generations. Did you know that in the Bible, the key to not being poor, based on God's design, is to start a business? I want to be clear. I have never read the Bible. I have had my own journey with religion, and because I am not religious, I will say that I am a very spiritual person, but I'm going to take my lessons from where they come, okay? And learning from Myron has really allowed me to get that the Bible is a book that governs nations. It is not religious. And so I am empowered to share the things that I am learning from said book. And I will be buying myself a Bible very soon. But according to God's design, the cure to being poor is starting a business. And we're going to say starting a successful business. Let's be very like intentional with our verbiage here. Because you were not created to be at the behest or to work for other people. You weren't. God made you with the solution to your problem built in. So whatever problem you think you're having, maybe it's a problem with money or a problem with relationships or a problem with health, the solution is built in. So you may be applying to jobs, feeling rejected, doing all of the things that would have you say, oh, I'm working hard towards getting money or towards being employed or all of the things. There's a reason why it is so quote unquote frustrating. There's a reason why you're feeling bitter around that topic, because it is not natural. Our nature is to use our God-given experience that gave us gifts and skills to better the lives of other people. Period. That whole idea of celebrity, like, it's literally been wrapped up and positioned in a way that those people are special and different, but they're not. They have used, when you listen to the stories of actors and actresses and songwriters and singers and all, they went through things and they put it into their art, and now they get paid for it. They are communicating something. Communicators are the highest paid underneath people who create ideas. This is why actors and actresses and songwriters and singers and all that get paid hundreds of millions of dollars, because they're communicating something. They're communicating their pain. They're communicating how they got over their pain. They're communicating a story. Communication is the highest level in this human realm for most people to get paid. And when you can learn not only how to communicate, but learn how to appreciate the things that happened in your life that actually gave you proficiency in something, when you can learn to appreciate that, that is when you give yourself permission to communicate that to other people. The only reason I can be with my community, be with my students, is because I have no shame around the things that I've experienced in my life. There are women who have heard, like, as I was going through some stuff, I shared all of the details with them. Because who am I to keep that to myself and then show up as everything is okay? Because everything is okay, but that doesn't take away from this just happened. So let me share with y'all what just happened, and then it would be like, well, how are you dealing with that? And then I answer their questions. Because that's truly what they want to know. How do you deal with things so effortlessly? But the thing about this whole social media, you thinking that other people are judging you, it prevents you from sharing your truth, sharing your quote unquote pain. It can't pain you that much because you're still alive. If it was that painful, your head would have fell off and you would have conked out, and that would have been the end of you. But you're still alive. So you choosing to put your pain above you means that you are less powerful than the thing that you went through? I don't think so. I don't think so. I know that's not true. Because I have been through some things where I never saw that for my life. But it happened. And guess who's still standing, alive, healthy, wealthy, loved? Me. And I would say the same is true for you. A huge piece of being a coach, being a consultant, you want to add healer in here, you want to add entrepreneur in here, is appreciating your pain. Seeing your obstacles as simply things that made you stronger, that gave you an experience that allowed you to think, maybe there's a better way of dealing with this. There's a better way of going about this. Nothing in your life was happening to you. It is always happening for you. Everything that I have experienced has been something that allowed me to say, there's an opportunity for me to become better at XYZ. Right now, what I'm working on in my business is lead generation. That is an area where I've looked at myself, I've looked at my results, and I'm like, girl, we got some work to do. Producing content is amazing, right? But if that content isn't creating leads, then are we actually in business? You can call it a hobby. But instead of me being upset about that and like, oh my God, something else to learn, why isn't this working? No, I'm excited. Because the fact that I'm still alive and get to learn something else and put it into effect, and then that's going to lead me to, okay, now I've achieved that and that's producing certain results. Wow, there's something else I don't know. And I share this because it is a very important piece of your process as someone that wants to get paid to exist, specifically as a coach, consultant, strategist. I want you to get that your pain is always for your profit. Always for your profit. I'm going to say that one more time. Your pain is always for your profit. You only need to be 10% ahead of the people that you are meant to guide, the people that you are meant to lead, the people that you are meant to teach, the people that you are meant to walk with hand in hand. You only need to be 10% ahead of them. And the only way that they know that you are their person is when you share what you have gone through, what you are growing through. I'm a very I recognize in my community that my past practice would have been like, let me try something on for a couple days or maybe a week or 2 weeks before I share it. And it's like, actually, I'm going to share this immediately because maybe you are right where I'm at right now. So let me just share it. Let's see what the results are. It's not that I learned something and I'm just going to give it to you without putting it on for myself. Like I said earlier, I like the hard work. I want to do the hard things. But it's so empowering when you share in the moment, not when you got it all perfect and buttoned up. Because in the moment is when the emotions are high or low, but most importantly, that is when that skill set that you developed is in high gear. And that is when you are so potent and they're like, oh my God, look at what she's going through and look at how she's dealing with it. I want some of that. I want to be like that. I want when things come up in my life that I am, maybe you're someone that makes jokes of things and you make light of things. I want to make light of things like that. I want to not take anything too seriously. That may be the thing that people want from you. Or maybe you're the person that can turn chaos into creation. Like you can make anything out of a crazy situation. The only way we get to experience you as the skilled person that you are is when you let us in a little bit. If you keep waiting till everything is perfect, you're probably going to die first because there is no life is always going to give you more things for you to exemplify your skill set. So if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, there will be no perfect moment. And so because this is your movie, show us. Show us what you want to show us. Show us how you use your skill set to improve your life. And the people who need that in their life, they will come with their credit cards out, ready for you to guide them. And so this is why I promised that you would be able to walk away with the clarity to put something together today, if that's where you are mindset wise, that you can offer someone. Like, this is what I do. This is how I can help you. This is how your life will improve if you say yes. And something I learned today that was really, really powerful is that we as providers of a service, we're usually so concerned with the cost that the person will have to pay us and less concerned with the cost that not paying us is having on the life of our potential client. Do I need to say that again? We are so concerned, especially when you're starting out as an entrepreneur. You're so concerned with, well, how do I price this? And I want to make sure that it's not too expensive for them and it's not too much. And I want to make sure that it's just enough to pay my bills. And you're so caught up in how much the thing costs that you are unclear of what it's costing that person to not have that transformation. I'm going to tell you right now, one of my favorite clients right now, I'm going to call her my student. She's my girl. As a 4-line, I want y'all to know, like, when you work with me, you become a friend. Like, I just gotta put that out there. As a 4-line, 4-lines like to build networks of people who they can call their friend. And so one of my friends is listening to us on Twitter right now. And one of the things that I recognize, and I don't know if she sees this for herself, but I definitely see it. The cost for her and her life, if she didn't say yes to my offer with the Projector Profit Lab, which was the initial name, the cost to her and her life is the wealth that she sees that's available to her. Meaning, if she didn't say yes to this offer, she would not have been able to zoom out of her life and see all of the ways where she can build wealth and create the future of her dreams outside of her head and invest in herself in a way that feels good and trust that things are going to work out versus living in scarcity mindset and doubting all of the things that she wants to do. The cost is a future where she doesn't have to think about money. I think that's pretty freaking important. And if I didn't create this offer, that would have diminished. That wouldn't have been available to her. Can you imagine? I love her so much already. Because love is the most natural energy in the universe. And when you love, you create offers. But we're going to come back to that. I love her so much. I want her to have that future. I want her to be able to say, don't feel like doing it today, and I don't have to. Oh, I want to buy this today. Bought it. Going back to take a nap. You know what? I feel like having 3 poke bowls, and that's all I'm going to eat today, and I'm going to melt into the couch and hang out with my niece, and that's the best day for me. And I get to do that because my money's making money. I got clients coming in. I'm chilling. I want that for her so much that I'm like, let me just put my offer out here and see. Maybe she'll say yes. I share that with you because there are people who you are meant to serve. And if you just take a moment to think about what is it costing them right now and what will it cost them in the future if they do not have the thing or the transformation that I offer them. What is it costing them? What will it cost them? What will it cost the generations after them? You are too caught up in the cost of your thing that your people are living without the transformation that they need. And so I want you to stop focusing on that and start focusing on them. The reason I show up on Twitter, in my communities, on TikTok, is because I know that my people right now, they're struggling. Right now, they're being challenged. But further than right now, they have a future that they want to step into that they cannot step into without my skill set, without the things that I'm going to teach them. So whether they say yes today or tomorrow or next year, I keep showing up. I keep letting them know that it is possible. But if I'm not there, they go without. Or they go and they buy from someone that they really don't like that much. So if you're watching this, listening to this, as someone that has thought about being a coach, someone that's thought about being a consultant, you're thinking about getting paid to exist, I want you to shift from focusing on this is all about me, because it's not about you, and focus on the difference, the transformation that you are here to make for your people. I promise you, starting with step one and seeing the value in the things that you went through in your life and recognizing that they created a proficiency or a competency in something that is so easy to you that you step over. You need to see that first, because the moment that you recognize your value, you then recognize, holy cow, this is not easy for everybody. Someone out there wants to learn this, and I'm the person that's meant to teach them. And then just consider, what is it costing them that they don't have access to this way of being? We always talk about getting material things. But in order to achieve, or to not achieve, achieve was not the word I wanted to use. In order to obtain material things, there is a way of being that it looks different for all of us, but there's a way of being that we need to embody to achieve those things. And more than likely, you're meant to learn that way of embodiment from someone else. This is why I am in a challenge with Myron Golden right now. Because there's a way of being that he embodies that I had to learn. Just like my students, there's a way of being that I embody that they have to learn. And their students, there is a way of being that they embody that their students have to learn. This is why God didn't give us everything in one body. He made sure that we would need other people. And he also made sure that people would need us. So, as I wrap up, because I do want to open the mic for a few minutes, I want to encourage you to be honest with yourself about what it is that is missing in your way of being, so that you can identify the right coach, the right teacher, the right consultant for yourself, so that you can move forward. The same way that I recognize, damn, I really didn't know much about business. I've been out here winging it based on what I saw my parents do. I've been winging it based on what feels good to me, but the results was not hitting. So my skill set is there. I'm aware of the value that I bring, but there was a missing for me in terms of the actual develop this into a business piece. And so I went and I got coaching. And I got coaching from the right coach. And this is where observation comes in. This is where evergreen content comes in. I've talked about this before. The reason why you want to create content is so that your people can do their research on you. Trust me, I have invested. There was a coach I invested $8,000 in. I ain't learned shit. I didn't learn anything from that woman. I didn't learn anything but confusion. She was confused. Her team was confused. It added no value to my life. Well, the value added was do a little more research. So we're going to appreciate that. I literally have been listening to Myron for weeks. I listen to him every single day. And I'm like, where's the opportunity? How do I jump in to work with this man? I ordered a book. I ordered his book for me and my partner. And then I joined his challenge. And I'm going to join it again next month. And then I'm going to level up and level up and level up, because this man has exactly what I was missing, which is the business acumen. For you listening, maybe it's not the business acumen. Maybe it's the confidence that's missing. Maybe it's the clarity that's missing. Maybe it's the groundedness so you can zoom out and see all of the different avenues that you are talented and could go down that's missing. Your job is to be honest with yourself so you can identify what is missing and then go and assign yourself to a coach, to a teacher, to a consultant that can guide you. This is why I'm very specific. I'm not going to say, sign up for my program. I don't need to say that. Because you can identify you are a very smart individual. The same way I'm smart, and I was like, hey, Myron, well, I didn't reach out to him, but I'm like, let me go look at his links, because how can I work with him? I can tell that this is the thing that's missing for me. So I'm going to assume that you are also that smart and that empowered in your own life, and you can go identify what do I need and who can help me with that. Because I promise you that honesty is what is going to make a difference. This is how you start your business today. You're going to identify, again, we're going to go over this. I want you to submit. If you are wanting to speak, y'all know the rules are you come into the space, request the mic, okay? So I want you to put your request in now. As you're doing that, I'm just going to recap. The relationship that you have with you and about you is at the core of everything that you want to create. And you identifying those times or areas in your life that in some way got in the way or you feel like it was a con or an obstacle, I want you to know for a fact that you are also at the same time learning a skill that is so second nature to you now that other people would die to have it. Identify that. I promise you it is not the degree that you went to school for. It's not the hundreds of books you have learned from. It is natural because of your experience. Okay? Secondly, focus, focus, focus on the cost. What is it costing your potential client every single day that they don't know you exist? What is happening in their life? What are they dealing with? And what is the potential future cost of them not having the solution or the transformation that you bring to their life? Obsess over that. Allow that to call you out of hiding, out of playing it small, out of thinking you're not the one, you don't have the money, it's not the right time. Allow that to call you. I don't know what it is about human beings, but something about other people always makes us get up and do something. Before that, we're kind of like, oh, well, I'm in a crap situation, but it's only me. Nobody has to worry about that. It's okay. But the moment it's like, impact other lives, it's like, oh, I should probably, boy, let me hurry up and start this thing, huh? Lastly, which I think is so important, is the cure to being poor is you starting your business. It is the key to your freedom, and not only your freedom, but the freedom for generations. Like when I look at my daughter and then I think about her being grown and her having kids and then them having kids, I'm like, damn, like I definitely want to set her up. I want her to understand money. I want her to have the freedom to never have to work for money. I want her to have a house and money as soon as she gets to an age that she's ready to move out. Like, I want to set her up and then set her up so she has the skill set so she can also teach her kids and for generations after. The thing that has kept us small as humans, which is working for money, does not even have to cross her mind. That is my commitment to her and the generations that come after her. I promise you, when you start to look at your skill set, you start to look at your clients or potential clients' cost of living or being without you, and then also look at the impact on your bloodline from you stepping into your purpose, I promise you, wealth will become easy and accessible to you, but most importantly, being a coach, being a consultant, being a business owner, what you've been dreaming of, becomes something that you can step into ASAP Rocky, okay? All right, let's open up the space. I'm so excited to hear from you, Janae.
Hello, Sarah. Hi, everyone. I want to like touch on the fact of you saying like how obstacles are skills to develop. I feel like, a lot of us go through so many things and we see those obstacles as like punishment or like,
Mm.
I don't know, failures or whatever it may be. But I don't know. I appreciate going through these challenges because they always get me to a different